All right, we're live. So, Andrew, you had a question.
Yeah.
What's the hardest book you've ever had to unhaul?
Oh, that's rude. Um, good. Dragon Age. No, Dragon Mage. Dragon Mage.
Dragon Mage. I was surprised when I saw that one.
So honestly, like space is so tight that I'm starting to take stuff from up here and shove it up on the top shelf just to
Right.
make room. Um, and like I've got two self pub shelves. Sorry, it's the end of the day. Uh, and so space is tight. And once that Kickstarter launches, I'm gonna back it like same day.
Right.
So I'm getting that hardcover.
If it was staying a standalone, without a doubt, I would back the Kickstarter. But I just get really frustrated with special editions on a first book when there's more of the series to still be written.
So one of my big issues with that hardcover is the spine is eh.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna do a special edition and it's gonna have a proper spine, sign me up.
Right.
Sign me up because that art it still exists in the book as like in papers and like interior art. So I still have that gorgeous art, and it's a special edition of one of my favorite books of all time. So
Yeah. I did tell my
win-win.
wife, I'm like, if you want to surprise me with a book I want, but I'm not going to buy myself, go check out that Kickstarter.
What
How's it
about
going,
you?
Robert?
Hello, Robert.
I know you've done a purge of your shelves. What's one of the ones that you purged that is difficult for you since we're asking mean questions?
Well, my kind of cheat answer is First Law, because I unhauled the trilogy and then it made its way back to me and I had to unhaul it a second time. So it was quite literally difficult for me to unhaul.
That's actually one of the ones I just shoved up top.
Yep. No, I held on to it for a long time because one, the spines look really nice and it's such a loved series that I wanted to like it and kept holding on to it thinking I'm going to give this a second try. And then a
You
year
don't
and a
like it.
half later,
You don't like it.
it's
Move
like,
on. Ain't
yep.
no sweat off your brow.
That's what I ended up doing once shelves ended up getting filled up.
So Jordan, Mr. Jellyfish, how goes Shadows of the Apt?
Good. It's going pretty good. Can you guys hear me? Because I
Yeah.
Yep.
disconnect my earbuds because they weren't working. I'm about 40% through the final book.
Nice. Is it everything you dreamed?
I mean, it's definitely got like more horror elements to it, and wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, horror can work though in fantasy and sci-fi. So,
Well, I mean, Dark Tower had it, and
are all three of us Cradle readers?
I read the
Nope.
first three and then stopped.
Because you're a heathen.
Because I was also reading Dresden at the same time and read the first three of those, and they were both series were filling the same role of just something easy in between bigger series, and decided to continue with Dresden and never picked up Cradle again.
So, have you caught up to Dresden?
Yeah. I've almost
what is your
reread Dresden all of twice.
Now? Tell me your excuse now because I need you to start picking back up with Book 4 of Cradle. It's
I'm
only
waiting,
another 8 books.
waiting to really feel called to it again.
You know what? Consider me the call to
Calling
action
it.
to read Cradle.
All right. I just have to figure out where it fits in my TBR now.
well, funny thing. I was just talking to Andrew. After Waybound, I'm like hankering for another reread of Cradle. So I was just talking to Andrew about possibly having the Great Cradle read along on the Discord starting in January. 12 books, 12 months.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good.
Do that. And I would need to start over again because it was
perfect. We're starting.
When
from
was the Olympian readathon? Because that was when I read the first 3 books. So was
the
that
Olympian?
May
Oh, the Olympic?
2021? Yeah.
Oh God, that was. Is that the one where I went super hardcore? I think that was like June or July of 2022.
No,
No, that was
this was
21. You're talking about
2021.
shelf
Yeah.
space. You're talking about the shelf space readathon.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that was 2021.
So yeah, that was when I read the 3 Cradle books.
I forgot about shelf space.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking about them earlier on
June
today.
2021.
Yeah, I've joined and left so many Discords.
Yeah.
I'm so out of touch. It was funny. I've been thinking like, it's like, okay, I've been at this for going on 2 years now, over 2 years.
Yep.
And like, I don't know a lot of channels that are still around from like when we all started at the same time.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I've reached that place of like, wait, where did everybody go? Come back.
Yeah.
We all started this in the pandemic together, and you left.
We did.
You all went
Jordan,
back to your lives, and I never left my house.
Jordan needed some pulling along to get his channel going.
Oh, that was Bryce. That was Bryce just dragging, kicking, and screaming.
Yeah. And then
Like, I'm gonna tag the boiled jellyfish. I'm gonna tag the boiled jellyfish.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then I post like 1 video every 3 months.
Yep. And I had to give you a hard time about it until you start posting more often.
I mean, don't do what I do. What I do is ridiculous.
I don't know how you were doing 4 videos a week for as long as you were doing that.
Was it 4?
Yeah, because it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes you would sprinkle in a Thursday, but you were sprinkling in Thursday every Thursday for like 6 months.
Yeah, well, that because I got tagged so many times that like it was just like, okay, when am I gonna do these tags? Well, I've gotta have a day for like a dedicated tag day.
Yeah.
And one of the patrons, Scott, NP Scott, he's been wanting me to get back to tags, and so I think I'm gonna do the Mistborn tag.
Nice.
So I was scrolling on your channel earlier today, and I was like, oh, Patrick's got an original tag. Sure, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I need to watch it first, but it sounds fun.
Jordan and I were actually talking about Ben at Books with Genghis Khan when he did his book series tag. I was thinking of doing something like that around Christmas time, and it was going to be like the 12 days of Bookmas, and each day you just do a series 1 through 12. So same thing he did, just different theme. And then from there, we were talking about, I was also thinking about doing like a Cosmere tag, or not a Cosmere tag, Knights Radiant tag.
Yeah.
But I kept getting stuck after like 3 prompts, and everything just kept coming back to I wanted to answer with Stormlight. And I don't remember what Jordan said, but
tag.
What was that?
I should do a David Gemmell tag.
But during that conversation, I'm like, maybe we could do something Mistborn theme, like with the medals. And I just start listing them off. And before I knew it, I already had 10 prompts in under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess we're on to something here.
I think the only tag I've ever been a part of just fell and flopped on its face upon creation. It was fun to do. It was fun to record and make, but nobody did it. It was what's that thing where you like have a thing and then like you fill in like nouns and adjectives and verbs and then you get a story.
Oh, Mad Lib?
Yeah, it was a Mad Libs tag. There we go.
Like that.
I forgot what it was called, but I did that with Nico and names. I feel like a terrible friend right now. Sorry, it's because
late.
It's because I'm tired. Walker. There we go.
Jeez,
Sorry, I had
that
to
must have
actually
been a long
open up the
time ago.
Discord and look at his name.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing that tag at all.
It literally went nowhere. I think we streamed it live, or we recorded it live and uploaded it, edited to Walker's channel because he did most of the legwork, and then it just went nowhere. It was fun because there was a bunch of just bloopers at the end. It was really fun. I'll have to like talk to Walker and see if I can't pull it out and like
dig it out of the archives.
Yeah, dig it out of the archives or something.
I'll be back in 1 second, guys. I gotta fix this.
It's driving him nuts. The technology.
I can barely hear you guys.
He doesn't love us.
Oh.
What up, Chris?
How's it going, you guys?
So what's this book that you've been reading that's taking you forever to get through?
Of War and Ruin. So,
why does that sound familiar?
Third
Brian
book in
Cahill?
Bound and the Broken. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I
was like, why does that sound so familiar? I'm literally brain dead, and I didn't even know I was brain dead until we went live.
Yeah.
It's like I did the one yawn, and all of a sudden my brain just shut down.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the book, but it's such a big world, and you have, I think, 8 or 9 POVs, and
so it must have expanded from when I was. Hi.
It worked. It worked. I can hear you guys.
Did you shut it down and start all over?
Sorry?
I said, did you shut it all down and then just reboot?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to basically mess around with my phone. I don't know what it was, but it was like playing through like the phone speaker, not like the speaker on the bottom. So like it's like it's not like speakerphone like volume, it's like phone up to your ear volume.
Whenever I use Voxer and like a shadow goes over the sensor, it'll switch from speaker to it'll do that thing, and I hate it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But it should have been connected to the Galaxy Buds, but it wasn't.
Chris, we're actually doing a Bound of the Broken read-along starting next month.
Yes. And I was holding off on it until then. So I'm hella excited because I read The Fall like this time last year. I was actually just talking to Patrick about that like a couple hours ago.
Well, it was funny. I read The Fall and Of Blood and Fire about a year and a half ago, and then when I went to start Of Darkness and Light, the book started up, and I just was like, "And we're in combat. Who are you? Where are we? I don't remember any of this." And so then, like, I was like literally messaging Ryan, and he was just like, "How's it going with you?" I was like, "Dude, I don't remember anything." He's like, so you're probably not gonna have a good time with this. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna NFN this for now, and I'm gonna come back to it. And this is me.
Are we doing one book a month?
So there's so I was thinking of doing The Fall and Of Blood and Fire next month.
Yeah, because both of them are in one audiobook.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where The Exile falls. I've got The Exile. I think
The Exile is after
Exile's,
Darkness and Light.
Yeah, it's after the second core book.
Oh no, Fina sent me The Exile. So yeah. No, you sent me Cradle. That's what you did.
Who, me?
So you sent me.
I sent you Cradle and Hang God.
You sent me Cradle and what?
Hang God trilogy. Well, except for Slaughtered Gods.
The Hang God trilogy. Why does that sound familiar?
Till Cold Halt.
That one. Okay. I told y'all I'm brain dead. I am so brain dead. But yeah, so I've got them all right here. I'm actually starting to regret not getting the Broken Binding special editions.
See, like they look nice, but I'm scared of the Broken Binding. I ordered from them once and had a horrible experience, so Never again.
So I just placed an order with them yesterday. And if I had known other books were available, so here's the thing I hate about Broken Binding is they've got multiple sites. And
Yeah.
so like John Palladino was just like, hey, my books are available from the Broken Binding, and I was already in the Broken Binding placing an order, and I was like, cool. I went to like search it, and it's like, no, this isn't the general book website. And I was just like, oh, well, I'm placing an order now. I'm gonna buy that one. And then it was already too late. So it annoyed me because I would just rather add it all to one cart. And then, although I hate the way Broken Binding handles shipping because they charge you shipping by the book. And so like
okay.
the more like it's not just a flat fee or anything like that. So like I bought 2 books. It was like $27 in shipping.
Wow.
That's cheap compared to what I would have to pay.
Well, I mean,
it's like 20 pounds
live
to like Canadian currency is like $33. Something like that or more. And when I ordered like my 2 John Gwynne books, they were just signed book plates. I think it cost just two books. I think it cost over $90 Canadian in the end. 96. And it took 3 months for it to arrive. So, not to mention the customer service after dealing with them was atrocious, but
yeah,
never again.
Yeah.
I always say I'm done with the Broken Binding, and then like they like release something that I can't say no to, and it's
See,
like,
I'm just waiting for like a North American version of them.
you know, when they first launched, I like heard rumblings that they were gonna do something like that. It never happened.
Yeah.
I think the closest we've got is Silverstones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't bought anything from the Broken Binding yet. I've only heard bad things about them and thought, not worth it.
There's good, and then there's it's gotten kind of elitist a little bit because like the way like when you go to the subscription site, there's a tier 1, which tier 1 you can get the signed stuff. Then there's tier 2 where you get all the special edition books unsigned. Fine, but I think it's the same price, or it might be like slightly cheaper.
$5 cheaper.
Yeah, it's
£5
like $5
cheaper. Sorry. Yeah.
Ooh. But then like if you don't have a password and it's like these books are for sale for like private sale, like all the good stuff is reserved for the subscription list, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're not on the subscription list, you can just go take a flying leap.
Right.
And I don't like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. And then when I canceled my subscription with them, they were like, oh, well, we're so popular, you're not going to be able to get back on our list for 3 years. I was like, bye.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I will say Of Blood and Fire was the book I was most likely to get from them after seeing how big Of War and Ruin was. It's like, okay, this is the size where it's like, you might as well go hardcover because paperbacks of that size just don't last as long.
Yeah. I mean, Punk Rock's, you're not a bad book nerd, dude. Like, it's if you're into special editions, you're into special editions. You're honestly saving more money. I'm the idiot.
It took me a while before I got into special editions.
I mean, I got a scatter one here or there, but like usually if I like go with like a Kickstarter, I go with like the paperback version. I just like to have a signed copy. I don't really go head over heels for like the signed or for like the foiled edges or like the leather bound or hardback or whatever. I usually just go with paperback. Something to have on the shelf. And then I read it via Kindle or audio.
Yeah, most of the stuff that I'm gonna read it on Kindle or audio. I very rarely read physical anymore.
Yeah. Like I'm reading Shadows of the Ep now, and I remember when Andrew first read Empire in Black and Gold, he was complaining about how crappy these spines are. And it's true, like they just bend.
I ruined
Like,
the first.
I have to
3
open
books.
it this much to read it all. If I push a bit further, the spine's cracked.
I remember I ruined the first 2 books in my collection because I went on YouTube and I was like, okay, is there a way to relax the spine? And there
That's
were
the one
like,
where you like
yeah, where you're like
lay it
constantly
flat.
1 page at a time, and then
Yeah.
like massage it down and correct anyway.
And serenade it, play some smooth music, oil your hands.
Yeah, no, that spine cracked instantly. I was so mad because I went through the whole process. I was like, I'm not gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna check. I'm just gonna trust that I'm doing this right. And then like I got to the end and I was just like, okay, it actually feels better. And I flipped it, and then this finger just went, and I was like, oh, that's a crease. And I flipped it over. Spine's fully cracked.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't read on my phone. I remember I worked at a warehouse for 9 months, and I had been out of reading for a little bit while I was working there because I was always tired. And then on my lunch breaks, I started reading Matt Riley books again, and I read like one of them on my phone, 1 or 2 of them on my phone. Atrocious books. His earlier works were really good, but the 2 that I read were. Ugh. I think they were the Jack West series, and it was painful to read on my phone.
I think I read The Fall on my phone. I think that's the only thing I've ever read on my phone.
I don't think I've read a full book on my phone, but generally, if I'm reading a book on my Kindle and I don't have my Kindle on me and I have like 10, 15 minutes, I just go to my phone and just read a couple here or there. Or like when I'm putting the baby asleep or something and I'm just walking around with her, I just whip out the phone and look
I
at
do
it that way.
remember
But
when I was buying my minivan, I was reading Voice of War on my phone.
Okay.
Yes, the new, I think that's Ace. I had Dune, and then I gave it to a buddy because I got my Folio edition that's up there. And then I want to get Messiah and Children in that nice edition, but I don't know if I'll ever reread Messiah, and I don't know when I'll get to Children of Dune, so I might as well just get the audiobook from Libby through my library and call it good.
Yeah, one of the reasons I started to get into special editions is since I listen to all my books anyways. It's like, okay, if I'm having the books just to collect the books and because I like owning the books and having them on my shelves and them looking good, I might as well get the good looking copies.
yeah,
That's fair. I don't know. I love like randomly I'll just pull books off the shelf and be like, oh, that's so pretty, and I'll look at the artwork and I'll flip through the pages and
Yeah.
I like the nice aesthetic if it's got good formatting, and I'm so excited for this new T.A. Bruno book because it's gonna have some amazing artwork in it.
yeah. I've been looking through it where I was part of one of the people that was advertising down Below Beyond a couple months ago. So I got a list of like some of the character art and stuff like that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm already 5% in, and I've only read.
Oh, okay.
It's really short.
Yeah, I think it's like 360 pages or something.
I don't know. I flew through that first chapter, so
Yeah. I'll get to it at the end of the month or beginning of July.
I actually flew through some reads here recently. I'm currently also working on, if I can get my headphones to not fall down, some Stephen King.
Doomickey?
Doom McKee.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting story.
I don't know why, but that cover always grabbed my attention. I'm like, water? Is there jellyfish in there?
No, it's about like this guy who was like a millionaire and he owned his own construction business. One day he was on a job site and like something went wrong and like he basically gets a helmet crushed on his head. And so he has all these memory problems and speech and anger issues, and he also lost an arm. And then like that causes him to like go through a divorce and his family breaks apart. and then like he's contemplating suicide and things of that nature. So his therapist was like, "Hey, go to Florida." He goes to Florida, rediscovers a love of painting at Dumaki, and then like some mysterious horror shenanigans start happening.
Oh, very good. I wonder if the doctor said, "You're all right now," after he lost his left arm or something.
Oh no, quite the opposite. Like he was just like, "Hey, if you're gonna do the thing, like wait long enough to where the insurance companies aren't gonna be suspicious. Because like if you do it like right now, everybody's gonna know." And like he was just like, "What?" And he was just like, "Yeah, you should probably just like I don't know, wait a year, give it a year, and then do what you're gonna do." And I'm just reading this thing, going like, "What the hell?" Like, callous bastard. I just did Dark Tower last year. Was that last year? Yeah.
I read Dark Tower in 2017 and 2018. It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate the ending like a lot of people do. It's one of the endings you either love or you hate. I was just like, oh,
I enjoyed the ending, but
I think it makes
I'm
way more
like
sense to read Insomnia first before book 7.
I'm on the complete opposite of you and Jake with book 6. I absolutely despise Song of Susanna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I despise Wizard and Glass.
That one wasn't as good as everyone made it up to be. And then I just kind of like went with the hype for it, but it's definitely I found book 3 was my favorite, The Wastelands, and then book 2, Drawing of the Three.
Those are really solid entries. I liked Wolves of the Kala, but it also had that nice Western feel to it.
That one was one of my top. I'd say probably like top 3 or 4 for sure. Wolves of Kala.
And then you liked Wind Through the Butthole, didn't you?
It was a nice little side story.
Was it you who said that a couple days ago?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. I was just like, I'm pretty sure I'm making this joke to the right person.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think
That's
Jake would make that joke.
That was our book titles tag.
Yep.
Okay.
Because Jake said wind through the keyhole.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, as far as amassing the world's largest library, I think most of us get to the point where we're doing what Andrew's doing and having to unhaul just because we run out of room. So it ends up being just our favorite of our favorites.
Yeah. Well, it gets to the point where it's like, I got to look at it. I'm like, okay, why did I buy the book? Okay, I bought it off of somebody's recommendation. But did I ever have any real intention of reading the book, or was I just following a recommendation? Okay, I just bought it, and then like I've had 3 opportunities to buy the 3rd book. I've never done that. Am I actually going to read the book? Answer, right. Probably no. So why is it on my shelf?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's a bad book because I'm unhauling it. It just means I would rather have room for something I'm more excited for.
Yeah. Well, for myself, I only have 1 bookshelf, so I can't really unhaul because I live in such a small town. There's like no real place to unhaul it except for like a bookstore. Sorry, not a bookstore, coffee shop, like a take a book, leave a book kind of thing that they got. So what I do is I just put them in boxes and put them in my garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm just gonna need you to send us your inventory, and then we'll just a couple bucks a book plus shipping, which will be about $300.
That's right.
And like 6 months.
Yes, to get off this exotic, frigid island.
I don't know why you live on a place that's actively trying to kill you.
Well, my family's from here. I'm kind of forced to.
Nope. There's so many other places where where death is not just walking outside. Like you actually have to go somewhere in order to court death.
Well, it's not that bad.
You get like 12 feet of snow a night.
16. Thank you very much. And I got a snowblower just for that, and it's always hungry for more snow.
No thanks.
It's good audiobook time.
And then the moose,
That's true.
all the mooses and the thunderstorms and the hurricanes. Ugh, no thanks.
Yeah.
But good
Chris,
pictures for the nature channel on the Discord.
Yeah, I know. Well, like the photo I posted yesterday, that was literally like 5 houses down the road. It's just like a mama moose and 2 babies. And then driving home from work last time, there's a moose right in the middle of the road.
The sunset picture I posted, that was taken from my balcony. And there's about a 10 to 15 minute period there where it's like, okay, is that the sun setting or is there a giant fire right now?
Seems like half of mainland Canada is on fire right now.
Somebody went camping and didn't properly put out their campfire.
I heard it's
Yeah.
unusually hot in Canada. Like I think it was Edmonton in April or early May, it was upper 90s.
Oh,
At
okay.
that point in Denver, the high for the year had been 85.
Oh wow.
And
I heard it has, according to Mike, it hasn't stopped raining in Houston.
it's been raining a lot here too, in unusual amounts.
Could you send some of it my way and to Canada's way?
It keeps calling for rain, and then it just doesn't over here. Like the entire forecast calls for rain for the whole week, and it hasn't rained like 4 days of the whole week. It was supposed to rain.
Ryan, you live in Jersey, bro. I'm pretty sure you live in Jersey. Oh man.
So, Chris, I actually have a couple videos early on, and when I was first starting my channel, where I was on mountains filming.
Those are good. Terrible, terrible audio. But
Yeah, well, there's a few things I found out that so I was using a GoPro to film at the time because that was the camera I had, and I had what's it called, one of those mics that you clip onto like your shirt,
just a
lapel mic, and I had it hooked up to the GoPro. What I didn't realize is that for that mic to actually be working, I needed to buy like a $60 thing to connect the two.
like a dongle.
Oh my gosh.
That just using a generic one wouldn't work. I needed to buy the GoPro specific one.
Yeah, I find like GoPro's like stingy with that kind of crap.
So that's part of why the audio is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure you.
But you
love
should
that.
start filming outside again. Just scream recommendations at some birds.
I'll think about it.
Just go to the top of the mountain and start screaming out book recommendations.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? An avalanche?
Nah.
Nah, you'll be fine. Just be like, hey, what happened? Like, 30 billion tons of snow crashed down the valley. Oh, I was trying to recommend Ryan Cahill to some random people. Couldn't hear me.
He kept yelling storm father, so we all turned around because we thought there was a storm up there.
Turns out he was recommending the ice.
Oh, jeez. Oh, there is another. Is there another Ryan Cahill novella that I just don't have?
The ice.
The ice just
He
finished.
just finished it.
It's out to beta readers right now.
Oh joy! I was like, that sounds familiar. Ryan, stop writing novellas.
I think that's what he's doing. Is just like core novel, novella, core novel,
Yeah.
novella.
Although the ice, I think he said it's 55,000 words.
It's not a novella.
Exactly. It's like, no, that's just a short novel now.
Yeah.
I think that technically classifies as an well.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite, one of my favorite like covers with a dragon on it is the ice. I love it.
Yeah. I thought 40,000 or 50,000 was what qualifies something as technically long enough to be a novel.
Philip Chase is killing me with his new book already being out. I haven't read your first one, Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote the whole
audiobook out there?
trilogy, and then he's putting them out back to back to back, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know if Alan's finished the audiobook for the first one yet?
No, I doubt it. I think he was doing it in June or July.
5 main novels for Bound and the Broken, Chris. That's about right. 5 core
Yes.
novels, and then he has a bunch of little side novellas about like the side POVs. That's to my knowledge. Patrick probably knows a lot more than me about that.
Yeah, I would say the fall is something you don't have to read.
No, it's like
background knowledge of what kind of set everything off. It's short, easy. It's a good read.
yeah, it's
you
like
don't
90
have to read
pages
the
of
fall.
fast pace.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one battle told 4 different times from 4 different points of views.
What is?
The fall.
Oh.
But the Exile, I would not consider that a side novella. To me, that's crucial plot. That if you skip the Exile, you're going to be lost when these characters come back in Of War and Ruin. Like I was talking to Jordan earlier, and I'm like, the Exile, to put it into something that most people have read, you take Rhythm of War. If you take Adolin's plot line in Rhythm of War, the whole Shadespar trip, and say that's a novella, if you skip that, you'd be missing a huge chunk of that story. And that's what it would be like if you skipped out on the Exile. So it's
that's this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's actually got a printing error where there's a bad cut right here at the top.
I'm curious.
Misprint, sell it for triple the amount.
Oh, I'm not selling these, not unless Ryan sends me the hardcovers, which is awesome.
Does this mean I have to run and get my copy of Bound and Broken?
Exactly.
Oh, hey. I didn't
Oh
realize.
my gosh.
I didn't realize Dom had a quote in here.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a quote.
Bloody, it's brutal, it's brilliant.
Dom's famous.
Yes, he is.
There's no better feeling than getting blurbs. There really isn't. I've been blurbed a couple times now.
I think maybe it was just on Amazon or something. Air with them. Used the quote of mine. And one of my friends is like, hey, did you know you're actually on the Amazon review? I'm like, no, I've completely forgotten about that.
He dedicated the what was it called?
There I am.
Yeah, he dedicated this one to me.
War and Ruin is a chonker? Yes, it is.
Look, let's see. It says proof that I dedicated this to you. It said for Andrew who lights fires, which he's either saying I light fires within him to write, or that I'm an arsonist.
For myself, like the closest thing I've got was Bengali took my like how I would quote like the Heart of Stone, because I always said it was like the adult fantasy version of the Iron Giant, and he absolutely loved it, and I think he shared it on his like Facebook and Instagram and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just submitted a blurb for Servitor of Sin by Christopher G. Brenning. I was going to blurb the upcoming book for P.L. Stewart, and then that didn't end up working out. Not because I DNF'd the series, I just wasn't in the mood to read heavy political kind of fantasy at the time, so I couldn't catch up to the series to submit a blurb.
Yeah.
And then I did get by Andrew D. Meredith.
Yeah.
And I've gotten acknowledgments a couple times, which is always nice. I got acknowledgments in Lily.
Did you?
Yeah,
Nice.
I did.
I'm acknowledged in a couple Kickstarters as the boiled jellyfish.
I mean, you are the boiled jellyfish.
Yes. It's I just seen it when I got my oh my god, the first ancestor book 2 of Titan Wilds.
JDL
Like
Roth.
yeah, boiled jellyfish right in the back.
And a few people have said that they're going to have their characters eat boiled jellyfish in their books.
That's funny.
Hopefully,
that's going to be a nice shout out for you.
Actually, Andrew, you're in the acknowledgments for Down Below Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen that today.
I just randomly flipped to the back just to see, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
cool." I actually just got the third JDL's third Norse book. I just got that recently.
So, Alex, I will say Of Blood and Fire is much slower paced than The Fall. So I know you prefer slower paced books. You'll get that with Of Blood and Fire. There's still plenty of action in the story, but whereas The Fall is literally just a battle.
Yeah.
Of Blood and Fire does have that slow burn start.
Oh, Alex should totally read Collation. Andrew D. Meredith. If you haven't already, Alex, I don't know. I don't know what you've read. Where are my collation books? What do you want? Hi. You want to come up here? Come here, old lady. Ah.
I was wondering, like, okay, is it going to be a kid or a cat?
I wouldn't call my kid an old lady. Don't bite me.
Why not?
Don't bite me. Hey, you wandered up here. Where are you going? I love you. Oh, my little princess. Nice.
Yeah.
I can never find my books. Like, I'll start talking on my butt. Like, oh, yeah, these books. You'll totally like. Oh, I'm looking right at them. Of course. Of course I can't find them because I'm looking at them. Because that's how my brain works. The tickles. Oh, no. I'm highly ticklish, cat.
Yeah,
Enjoy
I
the
have to keep my
raccoon
door
tail.
closed. Otherwise, my cats will try and sleep on the computer.
It's nice and toasty there.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, great.
And when I'm at work, it's always the work computer that they want to sleep on.
I didn't realize you had so many cats until I watched Dan's pet video.
Yep. That's probably because in May 2021, I didn't have any cats. And then I got married. And then I had 3 cats.
And you had 3
So it
cats.
was just me and my dog. Now it's me and my wife, our 3 cats, our 2 dogs. Had a fish for a while too.
It's too much.
Yep.
This is too much.
The fish must have been a
It's a
financial
lot.
burden.
Yeah. No,
This one just cost me $800 to have 3 teeth pulled.
Yep. One of ours was around the same. I don't remember the price because I don't want to remember how much we paid for it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it was up there.
It hurt my feelings. That tickles. Stop. I'm on to you. You just want to make me look bad.
So my wife originally had 2 cats. And then one of her friends bought what was called a munchkin kitten. So its legs are like,
That's the one with the itty bitty legs.
yes. And posted a picture of her on Instagram. And Nicole's like, hey, can I come by and see it? And
She just
like,
went, okay, this is my cat now, and took it. That's that.
No, her friend's
Kidnapping.
friend's like, actually, I'll bring her over to you and you'll be able to meet her that way. So he brings her over and then it's like, do you mind watching her for a few months? Because I guess he had a bad roommate situation. So he was going to move out of where he was living. But then that roommate left. So then he was staying where he was living, but where he was living didn't allow cats. So he needed someone to watch the cat then. And by the time he moved out, it was clear that there's some cats that are really antisocial. Well, this munchkin cat is extremely social and needed to have another cat to play with.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like, okay, you need to get another cat before you can take your cat back. So he gets another cat, and it's the most antisocial cat. It would go weeks without him seeing the cat. It's like, okay, the food disappeared, but I don't know where this cat's been and when it's eating. Just can't find it ever. It's always hiding. So eventually 6, 7, 8 months go by. Nicole and I get married, and then the cat becomes a wedding gift to us to keep because we weren't going to give her back at that point.
So, fun story. This cat, when we first got her, she was 2 years old, and we took her in from a bad home situation. And we were moving from our apartment, and that's the first place we'd ever had her. Probably the first place we ever had her. And not the nipple. And we had
titled this video "Not the Nipple."
We had all of the furniture moved out. Everything was out of the house, and it was like quite literally we'd only had her in the house with like a few couple bits of bric-a-brac. And we're doing the final walkthrough before we cage her up and take her. I can't find this little turd. Cannot find her. She is not anywhere to be found. And so I'm convinced she slipped past somebody's leg while we were carrying out furniture. It's raining. I'm out there for like 30 minutes just pissed. Like I'm upset. And like I think she's gone. And then like after about 15 minutes, it starts raining too hard to where we have to go back inside. We walk in that door, and then she just comes from another room, and she's like, "Oh hey, where you been?" And I was just like, I'm gonna kill you. There was nowhere she could have possibly hid, and yet she did it somehow. I still to this day don't know how she did it.
Cats are incredible like that.
You're a little bird burglar.
Yeah. Remember, at one point I was looking for one of the cats, and I can't remember where they they were hiding in the guest bedroom. Was able to open the door to the closet, and it's a sliding door, so the door opens and closes. So in the closet now, behind a closed door, and then went under a dresser that we had in there, and the dresser was only like 1.5 inches off the ground. It was after we had his teeth pulled. So after seeing the vet, and he was completely high and out of it, and everything was scaring him. And you could tell this cat was high by just looking at his eyes, and it's like,
When she
He
came
was
home,
out there.
like she came out of her carrier and immediately stumbled straight to the side.
Yep.
And we were just like, "Oh, you're messed up."
Yeah. So he ended up completely hiding under that dresser to the point where I had to lift the dresser up so we could get him back out of there because he was truly stuck at that point. Which isn't the first time this cat's gone stuck. Nicole's told me stories about him running outside and running up a tree and then getting scared in the tree and not coming down and them needing to get
Oh,
a
it's your
ladder.
classic fire department story.
Yes, yes. Also ran under a shed they had and was there for, I think, like a week before they were able to get him out from underneath the shed. Something like that. At least a few days.
This one's ran away twice, and we were for sure she was gone because she's not an outdoor cat.
Right. Yeah, none of ours are either.
And like, come to find out, both times she made it maybe 100 feet. So like the next day we'd get a call from somebody because we post on like an app called like Nextdoor or like
Right.
whatever, and we'll just post a picture of her and we're like, "Oh, I think I saw that in my bushes. What's your address?" 2 houses down. There you are.
Yeah.
You heard. And then one time she got out at this house and she literally just went into the backyard and there's a bush right outside the front door. She was out there for probably 8 hours. She's just chilling in a bush.
My wife's old cat has PTSD about going outside for some reason. We don't know how or whatever, but we used to, if you took Shadow and you put her outside, she'd like basically faint. She'd stand up and fall on her back and just start meowing. It was weird.
Wow.
To get back inside.
We have it's called like a calming jacket for the one cat. And you put this on him and he forgets how to be a cat. He just starts straight legging everything and will just fall over, legs staying straight out.
I need an adult.
In the back of his legs, just fall over again.
Is it like a stress thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he'll end up being a lot around 9, 10, 11, 12 at night, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
We're drooling everywhere.
So just getting him to calm down.
That's so much drool. What are you doing with all that? There's buckets of drool. I don't want it. You can keep that.
But I want to make a puddle on you.
No thanks.
Are you guys experiencing June bug season like me? Like my window's just constantly getting pounded by June bugs.
No.
Nope.
No. No. They're like beetles like this big. Like, I don't know. And they're just like constantly hitting the window, trying to get at the light.
Jordan, I'm telling you, Newfoundland is trying to kill you.
Afternoon all.
Humans were not meant to live there.
Yes.
That is the domain of the moose. And apparently,
you know, they're actually not native here. They were brought here like hundreds of years ago for meat. And then they just thrived because they got no predators here.
I mean, what is the predator of a moose?
Right.
A wolf, but we don't have wolves because they're extinct to this area.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just coyotes and black bears. That's it.
Why did you do that?
What?
Huh? Just messing around.
Why did I do it?
Yeah, why did you get rid of all the wolves?
I don't know.
How are you going to claim a storm all of your own?
Right. You need an animal companion that can protect you.
You have a storm or a night eyes.
Well, I don't think my animal companion would be a wolf. I think it's just a spineless jellyfish.
Or a fire turtle. Don't go around lighting turtles on fire. Find one that breathes fire naturally of the black variety.
Yes. And eats rocks.
Did you end up loving Waybound?
Me?
Yes.
My gosh, yes.
That's why I want you two to do a collab video on it.
Everybody wants me to fight Matt.
I mean, it answered a lot of questions, and he said it was fast paced, but I mean, it like literally coming from Dread God into Waybound, it's all action.
I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I don't think it's like, I don't know. I need a bit more time to sit on it. Like, the more that I'm sitting down and thinking about Waybound, there's so many amazing scenes that happen in it. And it's like really, like, it's essentially perfect with how Will addresses all these things.
My only critique that I had for the book, and the only reason I gave it a 9.5, was the Abaddon judges when they're fighting the Mad King. Like, there's just a couple decisions that were made that I was like, okay, I could have used like an extra chapter or two. Like, that just felt a hair rushed.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like if we reread it, I would probably like get a lot more information from the iteration to help with that for sure.
I think I'm going to be reading it in, I don't know, maybe November or December 2024.
With the last book of Emaneska?
No. Last book of Cradle.
Cradle, because he's going to join us.
As far as the last book of Emaneska, I haven't started it yet.
I am about...
I've been stuck on one book this month so far.
Yeah, I'm about 35% through Dead Stars Part 2 right now.
I'm still at about 20% of the written.
Yes,
before you even meet the dragons.
I DNF that thing so fast.
Yeah. Well, to each their own. Everyone has obviously different tastes and stuff, and I feel like you don't like the brooding type of main character, so.
There was just something so stupid about the scene where I DNF'd. I was just like, that was dumb. I just closed it.
I think I remember you talking about being upset at him doing whatever drugs he was doing that cost him his ability to use magic.
Yeah, so
Nevermore.
It's like, you're this elite soldier. We trust you with all these delicate missions, and you're the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. He's like, yeah, I am the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. We're gonna give you this super secret mission. Great. Hey, you want to do some drugs? Oh, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, but they take away your magic that you need for this best of the best of the best mission. Yeah, okay, I'll do the drugs. What?
Yeah. They also take away the pain that he feels from it.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to leave after you've covered me in drool? Ugh. Slimy.
So you loved it? That's what you're saying?
No. I didn't hate it. I was just like, this isn't my thing.
Yeah.
I did finish.
Yeah.
It's not like that was my only Ben Galley that I ever read. I did also read his
Jason Graves
trilogy. There we go.
Yeah. That's the one we did together as well.
I had some critiques for that one, but book 2 was really good.
Yeah, book 2 was my favorite. I remember book 3 being the most disappointing, surprisingly, for me.
Well, and I've been called like nitpicky for like certain things. Like when I can't let something go in a book, and it really bugs me that I can't let something go. And Chasing Graves, like I could be completely misremembering it. They give you a piece of information. They're like, oh yeah, our murder rate is so high. Like 50% of the people who come to the city are dead within 24 hours. What? You're going to give me that? I'm sorry. Anybody in their right mind who goes to a city and you're like, hey, you want to go to the city? Yeah, sure. What city are we going to? The one that kills you within 24 hours. Like 100%? No, 50%. Oh, cool. Let's go.
I like my odds.
I like my. Nobody would go to this city. And they're like, yeah, we get millions of people coming here every year. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of like really shattered my immersion. I get
But it's got Pointy.
It does have Pointy. Like Pointy was cool. Pointy was great. It just I don't know, it shattered my immersion and I was never able to re-immerse myself because I was like, everybody in this world is dumb. You all had it coming.
Yeah, I think what I liked about book 2 more was that it was actually outside of the city of
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it's called. I was gonna say one of the cities in Shadows of the App, Canepsis. Well, that's definitely a different book.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm covered in cat hair.
Say Age of Swords, you're also DNF'd really quickly because you didn't like how fast things were being invented.
Yeah, that's also a nitpicky thing. Okay, so again, it felt clunky to within like 3 chapters they had invented the written word and the wheel.
It was at least 2 different people.
Was it?
It was.
I thought it was just one chick.
No, it was 2 different ones.
I don't know. It was still annoying.
So Roan invents or discovers the wheel and stuff like that and becomes a blacksmith eventually. Bren is the one who invents writing.
Okay.
And if it makes it any easier to handle, there was a god that was helping them do this and putting them in positions to create these things. And
I already know who the god is, so I'm fully aware. It's the annoying dude.
Annoying dude. It's the funny dude.
There's a fine line. Then again, I'm very nitpicky of Michael J. Sullivan as well. So
you liked Rhaenyra Revelations, right?
Say what?
You liked Rhaenyra Revelations, though, right?
I liked Theft of Swords. And then Rise of Empires and Heir of Navran were okay. I liked a couple of the emotional beats that were in Heir of Navran. I remember getting irrationally mad that they found this really ancient lost city, and then like it was next to a saltwater lake, and they were like walking through this city. All the books were fine. Well, they weren't fine because they'd been burned. But then like there was like shields hanging on the wall and they'd been there for like 1,000 years. And then like there was a pair of boots just sitting on the floor. Like I'm like, okay, it's been 1,000 years. Like it's been 1,000 years. Put the shield on the floor. Like have it like the shield can exist. Have it crash to the floor.
Right.
Have the boots be dust. Like
or rust if it's next to a saltwater lake.
Yeah, I don't know. It just that bugged me, and it shouldn't have, but it did, because I'm apparently a grouch. I'm an old man. Get off my lawn.
All right. Well, on that note, it's pretty late for you guys, right?
Get off my lawn.
And not the nipple.
Or not the nipple, get off my lawn.
Yes.
Get off my
That's a
nipple.
winner right there. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out. Hope you guys had fun. I think it's safe to say we did. So,
I had
Yep.
fun.
all right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.